Hi, sir. Good evening. Hello, sir. Good evening. Are you hearing my voice?
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Shall we start?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, on behalf of Green International, we welcome you all for this UPDA Electrical class. So, myself, Selvam, I'm a UPDA trainer for the entire course. So, usually, suppose we have a car. To drive the car, we need to have a license. Unless otherwise, we aren't able to drive the car in the road. We can able to drive inside of our houses. So similarly, in Qatar, even though we have an engineering degree, but we are not able to work as an engineer. We may have an offer letter. We may have an engineer designation in our office, but we are unable to work as an engineer in Qatar. Unless otherwise, we didn't have a license. Simply we call as a UPDA engineering license, engineer license. Then only the government say we are engineers. Okay, so that is the main purpose. We came here to attend the class and to get the license. Okay, so to get this license, what are the minimum requirements are there? Number one, every engineers must have QID. Number two, every engineer having at least a bachelor degree in the respective discipline. Now we came here for the UPDA Electrical Exam. For UPDA Electrical, see, for UPDA Electrical, these are the different categories. So note that this exam is applicable for all the nationality peoples. So in general, in our home country, in my home country, we say BE, EEE, BE, ECE, by like this say. But some European countries, some other countries, they say that power engineering, say electrical and power engineering, there are different categories are there. So these are the different terms. And depends upon, because we know our engineering degree, it is related to the electrical, even though it is not mentioned here, during the upload time, they may clarify those things. So if you have, and note that the simple understanding, BE electrical engineering, BE electronics engineering, or BE ECE, communication, telecommunication, instrumentation, instrument control engineering, all under UPDA electrical. So even though we say it's a UPDA electrical, but in your license, they mention that UPDA not electrical. Suppose I belongs to instrumentation. They mention that instrumentation engineering. But it is all under UPDA electrical. Okay. So that's why there is no need to worry about that category. In your license, they mention your discipline based on your degree certificate. So that's a minimum requirement, QID. Number two, engineering degree. So now we have both, we have that. So next, these two documents is minimum requirement to enter or to appear for this exam. So in this exam, so to get the license, we need to appear for this exam. That exam consists of consists of 25 questions. So 25 questions. How much? What is the duration? We have 60 minutes. So we have a 1 hour exam. The 1 hour exam, we have 25 questions. What is the pass mark? Pass mark, simply we say 50%. So to get the license, we need to get 50%. That is 50 marks. Out of 100, we need to get 50 marks. So how many questions? We have 25 questions. 100 marks. So to get the license, we need to get minimum 50 marks. which means we need to answer approximately 12.5 questions. So we say that 13 questions. So out of 25 questions, we need to answer 13 questions, correct answers. Then we will get the license. But usually we are working in the construction activity. So always in the construction, we put some contingency. So that's why instead of 13, we say 14. Actually, 13 is enough. But always we have a safer side. That's why out of 25 questions, we need to answer 14 right questions. Then we will get the license. Okay. We told that 25 questions. In which area we have these questions? We have a question from these areas. We have question from the electrical. We have question from electronics. We have question from the computer, communications, general topic, and project management topics. Note that PMP, we have a different course is there. That is here, it is not related to that PMP. In our exam, we have some questions is related to the project management. What is the project management? For example, once the project is awarded, we say that performance bond. We say guarantee bond. And we may say how much duration we need to complete this activity. How much duration we need to complete the entire project. So we have a question from those areas. But those actually all the questions are related to our daily activities. So we have 25 questions. These are the areas. And we, out of 25, we may categorize the weightages. So based on these weightages, we may have a little bit idea. So that's why we have these weightages, we put that. So we have out of 25 questions, simply we say 5 questions from the project management, 8 questions from the electrical, 8 questions from electronics, and 4 questions from the computer communication general topic. Put together, we may say 25 questions. And note that this 8, 8, 4, 5, it is tentative statistics information. So person to person, it may vary. For example, the T is equal to 0.02 millisecond. Find the frequency. What is the formula? F is equal to 1 by T. So we will get the 50 hertz. Then we will say this question related to the electrical. Suppose F is equal to 1 megahertz. Find the time taken. But in the electrical engineering, we didn't use the word megahertz. The question related to the communication. What is the formula? The same, F is equal to 1 by T. So that's why we didn't say this question is related to the electrical, this question related to the communications. So this statistics, just for your understanding. Yes, we know that is, you know your strength and weakness. So everyone having engineering, electrical engineering degree. For example, we take the electrical and electronics engineering. But some engineer having strong in the electrical, even though he hold BE triple E. So another engineer hold BE triple E, but he is strong in the electronics. So based on these statistics, you may know your strength and weakness. So that is these things. Okay, in detail will become later stage. Now, we have 25 questions. And I note that all the questions carry equal marks. Okay, in our college days, the exam question paper, we have objective type, 2 mark, 4 mark, 8 mark, 16 mark, like that. But here, it is purely MCQ. And more specifically, it's a computer based. So there is no black and white. There is no hard copy. We are sitting in front of the system. Instead of online, we go to the center, that is in the MME office. In front of the MME professionals, we sit in the system, we take the exam. So simply it's a computer-based exam. So each question, in general, having 4 options. Very rarely, you may have here 3 options or 5 options. But it's not applicable for all the questions. It's not applicable for all the engineers. For example, we take the 100 engineers samples. Out of 100 engineers, may 2 or 3 engineers say, I have one question, 5 options like that. So that's why in general we will say we have 4 options are there. And sometimes we may have a true or false also there. But there is no filling the blanks. Okay. And this exam, there is no negative marks. So that's why try to attend all the questions. Okay. So we have 25 questions. All the questions are multiple choice questions. Then next we have 25 questions. These are the different areas. And we have the same 25 questions. We may categorize. This is categorized based on the subject wise or categorized the subject wise, topic wise. But the questions is maybe a theory questions or problem questions. So that's why out of 25, we may have a 50% theory questions. We may have a 50% problem questions. So we may say categorize, topic wise, we may say 8, 8, 4, 5. And the either theory or practical, we may say 13, 12, 12, 13 like that, 50%. So theory questions, again, it is not related to our colleges. That you want to buy out the entire theory and we need to write in that like that. This is a multiple choice questions. Just we need to observe the concept. So that we say the theory part. Come to the problem part. Problems means, again, in our colleges, we say 2 pages, 3 pages, we are doing the very lengthy problems. But here is a multiple choice. So we may do some steps, but any questions, 25 questions, 60 minutes. That means approximately each question carries 2 to 3 minutes. So say 2.5 minutes or 3 minutes. So in your exam, there is no need to take more than 3 to 4 minutes. If it takes more than 3 to 4 minutes, means we are going in the wrong way. Or we didn't approach the conventional, we approach the conventional method. We didn't approach the different alternate methods. We didn't apply the shortcut methods. So by this way, we need to understand ourselves. Okay. So we have for example, we take 12 questions, problem questions. So problems means we need to use the calculator. But in this exam, they didn't allow to take the calculator. So usually in the classroom, nowadays the mobile, we are using for the calculator, we are using for the watch, whatever more purpose. But you come to here, in this exam, they didn't allow to take the cell phone inside the exam hall. The cell phone as a calculator, they didn't allow that. So they didn't allow to take the scientific calculator inside the exam hall. So they didn't allow to take the calculator cell phone in the exam hall, but we have a problem questions. So how to solve the problem? So now the exam is a computer based exam. So that's why they are allowed to use the system calculator. So note that in our colleges, so for example, I have a scientific calculator text model. So you may have a calculator Y model. But there's functions are, the operations are same. The functions are different. Unless otherwise, we have a hands-off training, we are able to use the particular calculator. Simple understanding the calculator, we have a shift button. If you are using a scientific calculator, we have put a shift button, we may have a different functions are there. Some calculators use the word alpha. So that means we need hands-off training in the system calculator. Unless otherwise, is fail to, because it's not easy to solve the problems. Directly, if you go to the simple, you purchase a new calculator and go to the exam hall. So it is usually simply waste because we are able to use how to use the calculator. That's why try to use the system calculator. Even though in our office we are using the calculator, but the calculator is exclusively for arithmetic calculations. So usually we multiply the two numbers or add the numbers. So we need to use how to use the system calculator. Let me discuss later stage. So that's why then you don't have to worry about the problems. We may use that calculator, system calculator. If the problems means we need some rough paper, do some calculations. So they will provide the rough papers. So that you don't have to worry about that thing. So in general, before entering the exam hall, we need to carry two things. Number one, Qatar ID. Number two, pen. These two things is enough to enter the exam hall. None of the things they didn't allow to take enter exam hall. In the earlier days, that is 4 years or 5 years before, in addition with the Qatar ID, we need to bring that either credit card, debit card, because in the exam hall itself, they issue the license, that is the card, similar to the QID. But nowadays, it's not like QID, it is the A4 size paper. We may apply in our home by the online process. So that's why it is a different thing. So in general, in our exam, the result will publish immediately, because we are not able to say in the submit itself, we didn't say that. After come out the exam hall, within 15-20 minutes, you get the message or they will inform you by using the mattress app. So we get the message from the mobile, or you may get inquiry with the receptions. Okay. These are the things in our contract document. The first page, they mention that the project value. If you see the number, we are very happy. And the second, third pages, they mention about the invoice process like that. But in the contract document, in the last page, in the last paragraph, they mention this class. Liquidity damage. Because you need to complete the project within that 1 year or 2 years. Else, they will penalty for 1%, 2%. By the same, mention these things. Unless otherwise, we aren't able to complete the project within the time duration. If there is no LD class. So similarly, here the important thing is, so to get the license, we have only 2 chances, or we may say 2 attempts. Within the 2 attempts, we need to get the license. Else, even though we hold engineering degree, but we are not able to practice as an engineer. In our home country, I have a driving license. But in Qatar, I am not able to use the car. Even though I hold a driving license. Similarly, even though we have engineering degree, but here we are able to practice as an engineer. So here we have only 2 chances. Within the chances, we need to get the license. But sometimes you may hear 4 chances are there. Yes, we may say 4 chances. How we say? Yes, sir, welcome. So we have 2 prime chances are there. We have 2 prime chances. Each prime chances, we have supplementary chance. How we say that? In our college days, there is an internal exam we conduct. So unfortunately, we will get the good marks. So what we do? We request the professor for the re-exam. If we request, the professor conduct a re-exam. If we didn't request, they didn't conduct the re-exam for us. Correct? So similarly, if we request for the supplementary chances, the government, the MME, they will provide the supplementary exam. And when we request, we need to, there is a time period is that. So within 1 month, within a 1 month period, we need to request the MME for the re-exam. They will consider our request and they will conduct. Note that in our college, the professor told that they issue the paper. He told that we have 1 week time. If you are interested, approach me for the re-exam. But usually what we do, end of the 7th day only, we meet the professor for the re-exam. What is the reason? Because next day itself, if you request them, what we told, yes, come and sit the write the exam. He may told like that. So the 1 week period, what is the reason? We have to practice ourselves. So the 1 month for a practice. So that you don't have to go immediately apply for the re-exam, because we need to have a 1 period, the 1 month period, we need to refresh ourselves, and end of the third week, we approach for the re-exam. And note that in our contract document, in the last, we have a LD class there, so there is no need to worry about the part. Our contract period is 1 month, so 1 year contract. So similarly, we forgot about these supplementary chances. We forgot about the second attempt. We have only one chances. Within the chances, we need to get the license. By this way, we prepare and we get that. If it is not, we go for the options. So as I told that we have a question from the electrical, electronics, computer, communication, general topic, PMP. So in here, we have 10 classes are there, which covers all these topics. And note that in this MME, and one more thing, we may say, so what the difference between MME and UPDA? So usually we say MOI, Ministry of Interior. So similarly, the MME stands for Ministry of Municipality and Environment. So this is one ministry. Under this ministry, we have one department, Urban Planning and Development Authority. This department conducts this exam. So sometimes we may say UPDA exam, sometimes we may say MME license. Okay. So this MME, that is this ministry, they didn't provide any specific syllabus for this exam. But we make a syllabus. How we make the syllabus? Again, you go to our colleges. So we have timetable, we receive the timetable. Next month, you have a semester exam will start. Then only we go to the library and we collect the syllabus copy. Or in the very first day, our professor told that the syllabus copy. We take the note and we take the first syllabus copy. We read all the topics. But it is, even though we attend the 3 months, but we didn't know anything. Immediately what we do, we approach the senior, so collect the previous question papers. Based on the previous question paper, we collect the 5 question papers. We have a question paper 1, question paper 2, 3. We collect the 3 question papers. And for question number 1, question number 1, question number 1, we refer all the 3 questions. Out of 3 different question papers, but these 2 question papers, the same question is there. Then we can conclude that, yes, this is the important question. So by this way, before attending the exam, we framed our own question paper. Okay? Based on this question paper, we studied them. Similarly, here there is no specific syllabus provided by the MME. But I wrote the exam. My friend wrote the exam. I collect the question paper, all the question papers. So then I predicted, yes, we have a question from the transformer. And especially we have a question from the copper losses. Yes, we have a question from the efficiency. We have a question from the induction motor. By this way, we frame our own syllabuses. The syllabus based on what we collected. And this syllabus was prepared today. We prepare the syllabus today. Based on the raw data which received from the yesterday. Yesterday, we collect all the question papers. Today, we frame the syllabus. But you wrote the exam, you will write the exam tomorrow. So there is some lag may happen. So that's why what we told that until your exam, you keep active in the group. Because I know that suppose there is any changes are there is any not discussed the question paper here, I know that question paper I mentioned in the group. That's why until your exam, please active in the group. Thereby you can be able to know the updated informations. Okay. Now we come to that. Here, out of 10 classes, we have 10 classes. Each classes 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. But here I mentioned the 10 classes. It may take 11 or 12 classes. Depends upon the time. So in general, we may say 10 classes. The 10 classes, the first class we discuss about the DC fundamental. Second class we discuss about the AC fundamental, electronics fundamental, because continuously we come to the electrical means, suppose you belong to electronics and communication, you belong to electrical and electronics. First 5 classes I discuss the electrical, she may fed up, never come to the class. So that's why first 2 classes we have electrical, then we come to the electronics, then we come to the machines. By this way, we are here and there, we are done. We can be able to cover all the persons. Okay. So DC fundamental, AC fundamental, electronics fundamentals, and these 2 classes is related to the machines. And we have a power systems, control system measurements, and we have classes. And note that we discuss in detail about these 5 classes. 1 to 5 we discuss in detail. But come to the 6, 7, 8, because that's a vast area, but we have a limited questions. The power systems, simply I use the word power systems. If it belongs to EEE, in our college days, we studied transmission distribution engineering. Next, we discuss about the power system analysis. Then we discuss about that power system operation and control. Then those are completed recently, because I studied more than 20 years, 30 years back. You are completed recently. You may study flexible AC transmission systems. So these all the topics come under the power systems. But here in the classroom, we discuss only 50 to 60 questions. Because so far we are collecting these questions. Because we are collecting the questions means they are asking the question from these areas. So that's why they don't have to worry about very lengthy discussions. Power system operation, because power system analysis. In our college, we study that Newton's absence method. We may write a 3 to 4 pages, we solve very lengthy problems. But in our exam, we have not like that. All the problems may take 3 to 4 lines. So control systems. We come to the electrical control system, advanced control systems. We belong to instrumentation, digital DCS systems. If it belongs to electronics and communication, they start with the signals and systems. It's all under the control systems. So the control system also, here we discuss about 10 to 15 formulas. We have a question from those formulas. Some theory questions also that questions we find in the LMS. So next 7th classes we discuss about measurements, oscillators, logic circuits. And logic circuit we studied in the counters. So many things, assigners, counters, sequence counters, like that. But here, what the core area, that only we discuss here. So computer communication. For example, we take the computer. It's easy question. For example, now in our office, we are using the LAN connection. The LAN connection, we are using the CAT cable. Simply we use the word CAT cable because as an electrical engineer, I am not familiar with the ELB. So I say CAT cable. But you are a communication engineer, you are working in this area, so you may know that what the CAT 6, CAT 6E, CAT 7, we have different categories. So here in our exam point of view, what is the difference between CAT 6, CAT 7? And simply we say that there is a switch. In general, as an engineer, I say switch. But as a ELB engineer, you may say router, switch. And we have different categories, you may say that. And for the mesh topology, bus topology, we have different topologies, we are using the different things are there. So we have a question, those say things. And sometimes we say that EEPROM, GEEPROM. So we have some typical questions are there, we discuss those in the things. And local regulation and guidelines. So in our exam, we have a question from the QCS. Qatar construction specifications, QCS standards, and we may have a question from the Karama standards. But that is not because the QCS meets out, we have 2,000, 3,000 pages are there. And we come to the electrical, section 21 is exclusively for the electrical. 19, 20 plumbing and drainage, 21 electrical, 21 electrical, 22, 23 firefighting and HVAC systems. But we discuss about the section 21. Just remember the word section 21 is related to the electrical. And if you go to the section 21, we have different categories. 11 kV switchgear, so many things are there. But there is going to be got all the informations. How we know that? Because we are working in the construction project. So until your exam, in your project, they do the project specifications. In the project specifications, they refer the QCS. So tomorrow, the chances you refer the project specification, for example, transformer. You take another 15 minutes, read what are the informations mentioned here. That's all. But there is not to by God any informations. Just read the words is enough. And come to the Karama. Karama, for example, in my home country, the residential building, I say 220 voltage. I say 230 voltage. Sometimes in our problem, I'm using the 225 like that. But here we hold the QID. So right now we are a Qatar national peoples. So we need to follow the Karama regulations. In Karama, as per the Karama, residential building, we are using 240 voltage. We measure the voltage, here 240. In home country, 220. We forgot about home country. So the 240, that is asked in the exam. In Qatar, in the residential building, what the voltage level for the residential building? 240. What is the tolerance level? In Qatar, plus or minus 6% for the residential bill. That is single phase supply. So these are the some information. Here and there, whenever we have, at the time I mentioned that. There is no specifically, we have Karama regulations, we discuss like that. It's not required. And for example, in Qatar, we may have 3 different categories. One is related to the Karama. One, we have a port area. One, for example, 3 units are there. Suppose you are working related to the Karama. You work related to the port. I am working related to the Q companies. So all we have the SLD, we have a transformer is there. But he said that the transformer 11 kV / 400. Because he working in the Karama. So you are working in the port area. So he said that the transformer 22 kV / 400. I am working in the Q company. So usually in the Q company, they are using the word 33 / 400. So 11 kV, 22, 33. These are the things that we discuss in the classroom. We will discuss these things. Okay. So each and every top modules, that is each topic. So these are the topic we discuss. So if you come to the DC fundamental, so we start with the Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's voltage law, current law. From the Kirchhoff's voltage law, current law, we have a series parallel circuit. If you know the series parallel circuit, we have mainly we have problems. And we are able to predict the typical problems. They may change the numbers. So that's why here it's a too important, very basics. There is a n number of questions are there. But if you come to the power systems, the typical same question without changing the number or the same pattern of the question, just change the numbers. Just we remember the 10 formulas is enough. But here it's not like that. We remember the 10 formula. At the same time, each and every question, we need to apply the different concepts. Thereby, you may save your time. If you solve the problem in the conventional method, it takes more than 5 minutes, 10 minutes. In the second class, we discuss about AC fundamental. So the AC, if you come to the AC, sometimes we use the word RMS voltage. So in general, we say voltage. So more specifically, if you are working in a consultant, or sometimes you are working in if you purchase a isolator, or you purchase the MCP, and you need to get the approval from the consultant. But if you see the document, in the document they mentioned that a VM or VP. What is the VM, VP? Peak voltage, maximum voltage. The site engineer, they didn't know the terms. But which engineer submit the document to the consultant, they ask the question, what the VM, what the PP. He has chance to see the numbers, the letters. So if you come to the AC, there is a word VM, maximum voltage. But here we say that 240 voltage. The 240 refers the RMS quantity. So that's why if I come to the AC, we have here maximum quantity, RMS quantity, average quantity, instantaneous quantity. So we have 4 different terms are there. What are the relations between those things? And that things we discuss the AC fundamental. Then if we have a voltage, then the voltage we need to apply to the passive component. How it is behaved. We have a resistance, inductance, capacitance. We apply the DC voltage, how it is behaved. We apply the AC voltage, how it is behaved. That behavior which gives the detail about the power factor, phasor diagram. So this information we discuss here. And the same passive component we are giving the voltage, constant voltage, how it is behaved. We are giving the change in the voltage, how it is behaved. Sometimes we change the frequency, then how it is behaved. The change the frequency, what the meaning? We take the FM, we are hearing the song from the FM. By changing the channel, we have a different station. What the meaning? For the particular FM, we have 98.5. We have one station is there. So 99.5, we have a different station. What the meaning? Just rotate to the knob, we have different frequency. For the different frequency, we have different stations. The same we discuss here. The resonance circuit. In the resonance circuit means we change the frequency, how the system will behave. And the last one, we have a transient circuit. In the transient circuit, for example, say we have a lamp is there. This lamp, the switch is on, the lamp will go immediately. Suppose inside this lamp, if I keep the fluorescent lamp, or we simply say that tube light. If the tube light switch is on, if you are on, you start flickering, then we'll start that. So due to the switching action, how the lamp will behave, irrespective of the voltage, either AC voltage or DC voltage. So that is the transient. Due to the switching action, how the, for understanding purpose, I say the lamp. But here come to the how the load behave. Here for understanding purpose, I say the switching action. But the real-time applications, suppose fault is occurred, how the load behave. So that is the relay, the transient circuits. So these are discussed in the secondary class. In the third class, we discussed about the electronics fundamentals. In the electronics, we have a diode, Zener diode, transistor, JFET, MOSFET, operation amplifiers. Then we come to the power electronic devices. It's also electronics. There is SCR, TRIAC, DIAC, so many devices are there. But you come to the exam point of view, as I told that, we receive that, we collect the previous question paper. In the question paper, we have question from the diode, we have question from the Zener diode, we have question from the transistor and operation amplifier. That's why in this classroom, we discuss those things. Okay. So we have 4 different devices, diode, Zener diode, transistor, operation amplifier or IC 741. Then how what is the VI characteristics? Because if we come to the electrical, we may say construction working principle. Here the same construction working principle, we may say VI characteristics curve. Based on the thing, we may understand about the working principle of the particular devices. Based on the working principle, we may understand where we use these particular devices and how we use these particular devices. Those things we discuss in here. And the 4th class, we discuss about the machines. So machines, we have a transformer and DC machines. We discussed on classes, but nowadays we have a very least possible question from the DC machines. That's why mainly we concentrate on the transformers. Because why we keep these things? Because if you read this word, you can be able to either, okay, these are this we study in our colleges. So we have a film of this area. You may have some confidence. At the same time, you may, no, this is in the college days itself. I didn't afraid about this topic. You may have the idea. Anything, you have some idea about the things. So then only you can be able to know about yourself, where you are. Thereby you can be able to prepare yourself. An alternator, synchronous motor, induction motor. So here we discuss each and every topic. You may have one question. Every engineer having at least one question from the alternator, synchronous motor and induction motors. Okay. So these are the areas. Okay. So to get the license, we need to appear for the exam. The exam consists of 28 questions, 60 minutes. So we need to get the 14 right answers. Then we get the license. So based on this information, we are having 14 right answers. Now we get the license. We are very happy. But the company, they ask the license with minimum requirement to get the license. But mostly the company asks the license with a grade. The grade we call as a classification of the engineers. The grade, so usually you may hear the word A, B, C, trainee. So here, but as per this MME, they didn't say A, B, C, they say first, second, third category. So trainee, so it is called as a C grade, this is called as a B grade, this is we call as a A grade. Note that the grade or the classifications purely based on your experiences, not based on the mark. For example, we have three engineers. For example, don't mistake me. For example, out of 100 marks, he get 85 marks. You may get 75 marks. I get 50 marks. All three, we have a license. In our colleges, 85%. So first class with the distinction, 75% first class, 50% second class. These are the categories based on the mark. But here, the out of 100, you may get the numbers are there, but it's purely licensing purpose only. The grade is not based on the mark. So simple understanding. In our, again, we are working in the construction activity. In the PVL, preferred vendor list, for example, we take one transformer. We have 5 different suppliers or the vendors are there. So used as a construction engineer, I prefer the least cost material, but which is approved by which is mentioned in the PVL. Correct? So always we select the least cost material which is mentioned in the PVL. Similarly, what is the minimum requirement? 50%. So if you are like, you get the 80 marks, it depends upon you. But minimum requirement is 50%. That's all. So similarly, that's why we will get. But the classifications is based on your experiences. So if you have a 10 years experience during your exam time, because during uploaded document, what are the documents you uploaded? Your engineering degree plus PCC, the police clearance certificate, plus other documents. So engineering degree certificate, so degree certificate plus police clearance certificate plus other documents. So these are the documents. In addition with this, here we have a upload the experience certificate. Suppose if you have a 10 years experience, 10 plus year experience, and you get the license, you may called as a first grade engineer or A grade engineer. So the classifications or grade is purely based on your experiences, not based on the mark. So by attending this class, which helps to get the mark, but your previous experience, which gives the grade. Okay? And note that usually in our CV, in a resume, we may say, I have a 9 years, 8 months experience. Actually, this is the 9 years, 8 months. But in a CV, I put that 10 plus year experience. Usually, I put like that. Actually, I have a 9 years, 8 months. But in my CV, I put 10 plus year experience. But this MME, they put that 9 years, 8 months. So we put that round down. In Excel, we are using this term 9 years, 8 months. What will happen? We are getting only 9 years. The decimal number is 10 years. So if you have a 9 years, 8 months, they consider as a 9 years, not 8. They didn't consider the 8 months. So why I say that? Sometimes, for example, I have a 9 years, 8 months. I think that, okay, I have a 10 years experience. After the getting license, I will get the A grade. So before, ensure that terms. If it is possible, I have 9 years plus 8 months. But if possible, you get the another 1 year experience certificate from other sources, depends upon you. Okay? So that is too important, because if you are waiting for 3 years to get the grade. Every 3 years, we can go for the renewal. But for renewal, there is no need for the exam. Simply upload the document, is enough. And this is the experience based on this bachelor degree. Some people may have a master degree. So master degree means 7 years experience is enough for the A grade. But usually, what we suggest that you submit their bachelor degree is enough, because I suggest that suppose if you upload your master degree, because you are specialist, I am specialist in power electronics. If I put the power electronics means there is a chances I have more questions from the power electronics. The way I need to take the risk, because in this classroom we discuss about the basics. I consider all we have a bachelor engineers. We discuss about this degree. So if you upload the master degree, you may have, there is a chances for the specialized questions, which is not help attend these classes. So that's why always we prefer the bachelor degree. Bachelor degree, we have a very basic questions. There is a chances. And these are the apps. This is for a renewal purpose. That's why you forgot about that part. Okay. There is any queries about this exam pattern? Hello, sir.
Sir, experience letter is necessary to get the license.
Experience?
Experience letter is necessary to get the certificate, UPDA certificate.
Usually, our main objective to get the license. The minimum requirement. For example, we have a two type of category people. Don't mistake me again. For example, we have two engineers. One engineer, he needs the UPDA license, because unless otherwise UPDA, we didn't change our visa. Right now, my visa is in the supervisor visa. But I have engineering degree. But my company, unless otherwise I didn't submit my UPDA license, they didn't change my visa. After changing my visa only, I can be able to bring my wife. I bring my family to Qatar. So that is my main motto. So that's why I forgot about my experiences. Just minimum requirement to get the license. So another engineer, but he have a duty. He is a project manager. He is a project manager as per the company. But we have a new project in the Qatar energy. But for example, say I have a 15 years experience in Qatar. I didn't have a license. In my company, my company told that I am a project manager. But the Qatar energy, they didn't accept as a project manager or project engineer. because I didn't have a license. Even though I have vast experience are there. Unless other, and again, I have a license. For example, say he have a license, but the license with the training. But he didn't, Qatar, he didn't take, no, he is a trainee license. So we didn't have a, accept as a project engineer. Even though I have a age is there, we have experience is there, they didn't consider that. Because nowadays, after getting the project, we need to submit the organization chart. In the organization chart, we need to put the project manager, project engineer. Not only project manager, project engineer, we need to put the name. And not only we put the name, below the name, we need to put the mobile number. We need to put the mail ID. And we need to put the UPDA number. And we need to put the PMP number for the project manager. For the project engineer, we need to put the UPDA license number. So these are the documents. The consultant, they may ask that. So that is the reason the grade is too important. If you have experience, means you upload the document. If you have no experience, forget about those things. Because I see you two people, you are young. So definitely you may have a more than 5 years, 5 plus minimum. I have a 5+ year experience. I repeat, because so don't hesitate, try to get the experience certificate and attest, upload that. If you have a 5 years, for example, say you may have a 4 years experience. For example, you may have a 4 years experience. And right now you get the license. But the license with the training. But even though the training, but the cooking me account, that is in the Madras, they meant not Madras. Like Madras, there is a cooking account is that. For individuals, there is one specific account is that. In the cooking account, they mention that you put the name, trainee, inside the bracket, they mention the 4 years experience. End of the 3 years, every 3 years you need to go for a renewal. End of the 3 years, 4 plus 3, 7. So you may get the second grade. That is not to go for that training. That is C grade. Directly you may get the B grade. But I didn't know about those things. That's why I forgot to attach this 4 years experience certificate. Even though I have a 4 years experience. What I did, I get the license in the cooking account, trainee plus 0 years experience. Then end of the 3rd year, I go for the renewal. At that time also, I have a trainee, but this 3 becomes 3 years. The second renewal only, we will get the 6 years experience. Why I told that? Right now, I have here more than 15 years experience in my home country. But here in this exam, 6 years before I wrote that exam, I didn't submit any experience in my certificate. So I get the license, you put a training. So last August 2025, I renew a second renewal. At that time only, I have a 6 years experience. I became a C grade. So even though I have a 15 years experience. So that's why I told that either 1 year or 2 years, whatever 3 years, whatever the experience, you attach that. You take another 15 days or 1 month, but try to upload the document, which helps to you. And some engineers are there because 1 year or 2 years back, one engineer, he is working in the Orido, his age is approximately more than 58 plus. 1 or 2 years he retired, but he need a plane. He need a license. So that's why he came, attend the exam. That is the different category. Because already he is working in the Orido, they are getting a very big salary. But he needs a braid. Okay. Okay. There any queries? Hello, sir.
Sir, one question.
Yes, sir. Tell me, sir.
According to the grade, is there any difference in questions asking?
No. The grade is purely your experiences only. It's not related to the questions. The questions depends upon the bachelor degree, master degree. Is may. Again, we didn't have the exact detail because 6 years before, one of my friends, he told that if you upload a master degree, you may have a specific question from the particular area. So that's why I didn't upload my master degree. but I didn't have the exact detail about, because none of the engineers, he didn't share their experiences. I upload my master degree, I have a question like that. He didn't share anything. So that's why we forgot about it. Your question is not like that. Okay? So the grade is not based on the question is not based on your grade. So the grade system is purely based on experience. The question is different. This is a different area.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir, it's okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And one more thing, another important information. Those having a experience in Qatar, that experience they didn't consider. 2014 afterwards, if you are working in Qatar, that experience does not considered. So that's why, for example, we two engineers, we have friends, we have 10 years experience. So you are working 10 years in India, your home country. Now recently you came here and he said that 10 years experience in home country. But I have a 10 years experience in Qatar. We both appear for the exam. We both get the license. But you have a grade, I have a training. Because you have a 10 years experience in other than Qatar, I have 10 years experience in Qatar. So they didn't consider my experiences. So that's why if you are having experience in Qatar, which is not helpful for these grade systems. That is the things. Any other questions, sir? So the period of registration in 3 years. Every 3 years we go for the renewal. So based on this experience, we have a trainee 3rd class, 2nd class, like that. They may promote that. The trainee become a 3rd class, 2nd class. A grade is remain A, like. And another important thing, but it's not applicable right now. We need to, because in the experience that UPDA license, they mentioned that is expiry date. On or before the expiry date, you need to renew that. Else, 1,000 for each month. Per month, they will have a penalty for 1,000 real. For 3 months, 3,000 real. End of the 3rd month, the experience that license is expired. We need to appear for the exam. Because it has happened in one of my friends recently. He forgot to renew it. He paid 3,000 real. But it's not right now. It may happen after 3 years only, but keep in the mind. So that's why I told that. It is under MME. Okay. Okay. Again, on behalf of Green International, I welcome. On behalf of Green International, advance congrats to everyone to get your license. Thereby, you fulfill your requirement. Either change the visa, you may bring your family, or you may get the increment. So many things. We have some objective. That is based on this objective, you came here to appear for this exam. You try to appear for this exam. So we pray to the God to fulfill your requirements. Okay. Thank you, Lord. Hello, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And one more request. Actually, so tomorrow I am traveling to my home country on behalf to celebrate the Diwali. So I will come back and after the week. So I inform to the that persons. So you may have your classes on next Thursday. Most probably I will return back on Wednesday. So Thursday you may have your next Thursday we have your regular class because we may handle your online classes. But first 2 classes, that is DC fundamental, AC fundamental, we have more problems. But by taking the online, it is not fruitful. We have more calculations are there. So that's why if you're taking the online, it is not helpful to you. So that's why I prefer that, especially first 3 classes, I prefer the online classes, that is in the board, which help more because I need to use the mouse to write the equations. It's not too hard. Okay. Thank you a lot. See you in the upcoming classes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So next class we mention in the group. No issues. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Oh, is it link or class? After class. Is it link?